So let's take things to the next level. And okay, so we have the attacks. Well, basically we only have attacks per item. Let's see. From our item, yeah, we do have all the default item actions that get overridden by the item we actually want to use. Okay, this error is basically just missing an event. It doesn't really matter for us. It's all good. So, okay, we have all of this. Now, let's say we want to add the second set, which is when we want to two-hand our weapon. Okay, let's open up this. So, we can do two things. We could either use the item actions as well, we could basically populate this and maybe add one more flag and say that we want to use, yeah, actually, okay, let's do that so everything is on the same page. So we could just do a public bool for actually, yeah, public bool is two-handed. Okay, the rest can just stay the same. We could just use the same values. So now let's go and see where we load the item container onto our actual onto our actual state manager. So I'm going to guess it's probably from here for getting the item action. From the item action, we have the attack input. So now, inside the character state manager, if we say we want the item container, but we also want this to be set as either it's two-handed or one-handed. So we could just do a bool over here for is two-handed, and simply if li dot is two-handed and is, or actually if is two-handed else, just do this, got this, and here we need to check if li is two-handed equals false. Oops, yeah, okay, let's do it like this. Copy, paste this, and of course this can just be true. Okay, and then it will cycle those items. Save that. So play target item action. We can go from here. It's basically just a state. Okay, and is two-handed. Let's see where else this might give us an error. Over here, for example. And everything is inside the character state manager, which makes life so much easier. And let's set this over here. Okay, so we have everything working perfectly. And now it's going to work the same because we keep the two-handed. So now, well, in Dark Souls, all weapons basically can be two-handed. Okay, so we need to set up what happens when you are pressing the Y button, or well, the two-handed button. And we can do this via the weapon themselves. So let's go onto the weapon item. We only have the game object and the model prefab and basically the item action, which we play animations via strings. So we can do the same thing for basically saying public string normal idle or normal hands and or well, one-handed. And we can do the two-handed anim here. Okay, and we can populate this with what we have. And well, for now, I'm just going to say empty for the one-handed, and maybe for this, let's say two-handed, and we'll see what we do with that. Okay, so now when we're loading an item, which we do via the character state manager, I believe, and let's see. Yeah, so from here we basically take the actions from our weapon holder and add it and update our character state manager. Okay, so this will be the place to actually use the animations, which means we can just do anim dot play and say weapon holder manager right item dot either one-handed anim, or actually let's do a crossfade, and depending, actually yeah, because when we first load the item we're always going to play the single one, so we can just do 0.2 here. So we can always play the one-handed first and then switch to two-handed. Okay, and switch this to left item as well. The only problem is we're now playing the same animation, which means if we go onto our animator over here, if we just keep the same, well, we don't even have the top layer, which we're going to make it now. I'm going to move this over here and I'm going to say right arm. Okay, and it's an empty layer. Let's fix the layer. I'm going to raise the weight to about 0.8. I think is going to be good. And I'm going to set up the avatar mask for the right arm. Okay, we have this already done. It basically has just the right hand with a gain, and the weight, keeping it lower, means it's going to just keep it, it's going to move a little bit because it's going to blend with the base layer. So I'm going to create an empty state, but I'm going to say empty or r underscore empty. Okay, the r means for right arm, and actually we need to we need to have this renamed over here. So let's copy this and paste it again, but instead of empty I'm going to say two-handed. I'm going to assign just an animation two-handed idle. For this I don't yeah, it's probably one of the old animations we have. Well, it's definitely one of the old animations we have, and we can send this to R one-handed, and we can change this to something else. Okay, one-handed idle. You can find these animations onto my site. So okay, we have this for the right hand and the two-handed. We now need the same thing for another layer, which is going to be now our left arm. I'm going to assign the, well, let's say left hand. Let's see what we have over here. Yeah, okay, it says left hand, but we basically have the entire hand, the entire arm. Okay, so I'm just going to copy these three and paste them in here. The only difference is I'm going to change this to left one-handed, left two-handed, and left empty. Now, because this is a normal animation, I just need to mirror them. Okay, if the animation was actually on the wrong side, although yeah, this doesn't really matter that much since it's 200, but yeah, we can keep it like this. So we have the 100 and the 200, and both for the right arm and the left arm. Let's rename this layer as well, just so that we know what we're doing. And let's go back here. So now we do know that this is the animation, the correct animation, and we do know that this is the left and this is the right, which means we can do an L underscore plus whatever animation name we have over there. And we can do the same for the right arm, but switch the L to an R. Okay. If there is no right item, that means we're basically going to go onto the empty. Okay, so same thing with the left. Left empty. So everything is perfect for this. So now we need the actual logic that switches from the left hand from one hand to 200. And we can do this. Let's check what we have on our input manager. Okay, we do have all of this. We could just use this, I guess. We could be using this one, but I'm going to make the logic, I'm going to write it inside the character state manager just to be sure about it. Okay, so we have update item actions with Karen. Let's do a public void. I don't think it's going to need to be virtual. So public void handle 200. We can yeah, we don't actually need to, do we? No, whenever we call this, we can just say if is 200 equals false, then else is 200 equals true. Then over here we could just say update item actions with current. But here's the thing, if we run this as a 200, even with this, it's going to replace the left hand actions are going to be replaced. Yeah, or well, the right hand actions, even for the 200, are going to be replaced by the left item actions. So we need to populate this a little bit more. So update item actions with current in both cases actually. So let's do this. Update item actions with current, and then over here we need to check if, actually let's do bool is action, or is, yeah, okay, bool can load left hand actions will start as true or as false. If not is 200 equals true, then down here if not can load left hand actions, simply return. Okay, so if there is no, set this to true. If there is no right item, set this to true. But if, yeah, okay, set this to true and say if is 200 and can load left hand actions, then can load left hand actions, set them to false. Okay, so what we're going to gain by this is basically we're not going to let the left hand actions to be placed onto to replace the right hand item. So this is still going to load the items based off if they are two-handed or not, but it only has 2 item actions. And actually, you know what? We need to say if it's not, or if it's null, just continue. Same with the one below. If the weapon action is null, just continue. Then we have these 2. We need to say, yeah, now two-handed actually perplexes everything. So if it is two-handed, let's see. Let's cut all of this, paste this in here. Otherwise, just get the action input, the attack input, and actually, if it's the left hand, it's basically going to be this thing. It's the exact same thing, so we can just do the entire thing here. Okay, so we have, yeah, so this probably should populate this correctly. Awesome. So now let's go back to our input manager. We have the Y input, and we can say if Y input is attacking equals false. Yeah, okay, for the Y input, I think we're using something else, but it doesn't matter. And we can do if Y input, then states dot handle two-handed. Minimize that, hit game, hit play. And I'm going to press the Y input, which doesn't actually do anything. Let's see why though. Yeah, that's probably, this is why it doesn't do anything. No, it should be doing this. So let's do debug. Oops. Two-handed. Two-handed. Okay, it should be doing. It should be running all of this. Okay, so we're running this, but we don't run the, maybe it's something with the animator. Actually, it isn't, because you can see that we yeah, we're missing the animation for, yeah, no, it plays. We're missing the animation for the two-handed, I think. And this plays now the empty. Okay, so when does this play? We can see that we get the call, but we don't get anything else. Unless we, yeah, I think we have it, maybe we have a wrong animation name. Yeah, it plays the empty. So let's switch this to 100, and the 200 is actually wrong. Okay, so let's go further down. I think maybe we missed something over here. So if it's 200, close it. If it's not 200, open it. So why are you not playing then? Let's go in. Oh, yeah, okay. So this will load them. So we actually need to handle this here and not we actually never play the 200 animation. That's why we do this. So let's just say, let's duplicate this line and say if is 200 else. Okay, then over here duplicate this line as well. If is 200 else $200 animation. Okay, save that. Hit play. Okay, and switching to 200, but still doesn't play. For whatever reason. Okay, it might be the left arm that's actually the problem, that's why. So let's switch the weapon to the right hand instead of the left. Yeah. Although for 200 we actually need, I guess we need two hands. Yeah, we definitely need 2 hands for this. So let's duplicate another layer, and I'm actually going to remove the 200 for this. Yeah, for 200 and the left arm, and I'm going to say avatar mask both hands. Let's see what this layer is. Let's set this weight to about let's try with 1. So we have both hands. Okay, all this is correct. So we need the empty, which I'm going to call B for both hands, empty. And I can say $200 idle, but here's the thing. I'm going to say just 200, and I'm going to say add a mirror parameter, and it's going to be controlled by this parameter if it's mirrored or not. Actually, no, that will be wrong actually. So let's do that could be wrong, because if everything is, yeah, okay, let's try with this and we'll see if it brings any problems. So we change the code. That means we need to go on to our crossfade, and if it's 200, you're not going to play this. We don't need the R anymore. Just play the 200 animation as it is, and it's going to go onto the second layer. Okay, then whenever you are changing this, so whenever is 200 false, I'm going to say anim.play B for empty. both hands empty. So it's going to reset the two-handed animation. So same with the left, but we kind of need to have this. So if you are two-handed and you can load the left hand actions, yeah, you don't want to load them. And if you are yeah, okay, we'll see this in a bit. Let's add some animations on the override layer, however. So we have attack 1, punch 1. And let's say th attack 1. And let's just say, let's use one of these, doesn't matter. Okay, everything should stay the same as we had them before. And let's just create some attacks for this one. So greatsword. I'm going to leave this as on the right bumper, and I'm going to duplicate this 2 times, so it's going to play the same thing either on the bumper or on the trigger. And I'm going to say is two-handed and is two-handed. Okay, now because we're copying these values, I believe, yeah, as you can see, we do indeed copy them. We also need to say actually no, we don't need to say anything. So what do we do with this item container then? Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's do ISC. Weapon holder, and then say weapon holder manager, right item, item actions. Is two-handed. Okay. Okay, so let's start with this and we'll see what happens next. Okay, let's add this here, let's add this here. That's kind of wrong, isn't it? Okay, so we have our two-handed and we have our two-handed attacks. It doesn't work for the trigger though, unfortunately. So let's see why. Yeah, the trigger doesn't make him attack. The bumper does. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, item actions container. From this container, which this container can be take a new item actions. And what do we use for this? New item actions. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, this is the default item actions. And can load left hand actions first. Yeah, so I think we're missing something that I cannot actually find right now. Okay, that's the left bumper. Yeah, I think we're missing with something with our actions. So this doesn't actually play. It only plays with this unless... No. Yeah, we kind of lost something along the way. So let's see. So if there's no right item, yeah, we do load the left-hand actions. But if you are two-handed and you can load... actually no, it's two-handed. And you cannot... No. Yeah, okay, let's clear this up because I'm kind of lost. Let's hit play. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't actually update any of the actions. So get item container, ISC is two-handed. Let's remove this from the equation. See what this is going to... Maybe it affects it, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Yeah, it kind of does, as you can see. But it does play the wrong animation. That's the reality of it. Attack 1. Let's make sure the animator is also set correctly. Okay, it does. Okay, so... Oops. So, get item action container. Then otherwise return. Okay, let's put some breakpoints to this. Attach it to Unity. And let's hustle. So let's hit play. It's going to load once already because we're loading. Actually, it's going to load 4 times because the first one we hit. And I'm going to press to attack. So it's going to look through the first iteration, which is going to be this. Let's see, let's open the tab. So the first one, it's going to look, it's mirrored is two-handed, finds it as false. So something with copying these values, we are forgetting that, which means we can stop this and do find all. And let's see where else are we getting this. I see. 200. Yeah, so we're not updating the, but we are updating this. Is 200. That's for the second one, and that's for the third one. Okay, so get item action container. Let's find them. And this gets the item container. Yeah, this will play the target item action. This will do this, but let's do a debug log for attack input and do an else for bug.log no action found. Close that and let's do a play. So right bumper, no action found, which is clearly something we are missing, because we do have the right bumper, we added it. So let's go with this. Update item actions with current, and then here populate list with default item actions. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of weird how this happens. And I can't think of why this is happening. So definition for this, it starts from here, and we just add the 4 actions. Okay, then from that list, oh yeah, I get it now. So we don't need any of that, actually. This is actually wrong. Okay, we just need to return the li, because this is the list for the new one. We want the old one. So we can check for each of the item actions we have, if is 200, and if weapon holder manager right item actions I dot if it's 200, or actually if it's 200 and this is not 200, then simply continue. Else paste this here, and if it's 200 and we're not 200, still continue. Which means also we don't need the item action container, because we already created at the first at the start of this method. So let's copy this, paste this down here, or just expand this, I guess. Let's see. Actually, yeah, no, we do need this down here inside the for loop. So paste this in here. Weapon action is irrelevant. We still need this too as well, so I'm going to keep this. I'm going to switch this to left item. We are kind of doing the same thing twice here, so but doesn't matter. Okay, so we're checking for all our left items, item actions, and I think that should do it now. This will probably work as it should. So only one way to find out. Save this and let's go test it. Okay. Okay, that's kind of wrong. Okay, so let's see what we're missing. We're playing the right item animation. So if you are two-handed and this, okay, this should continue, this will continue. Yeah, that's a bit weird, actually. Again. It's weird because also, yeah, we don't need to be passing this. Is two-handed. We don't need this at all anymore. So let's fix this. And down here, let's fix this as well. And let's see where we're actually playing the target items, target item actions. Let's delete this. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're still playing the wrong animation, even though we should be updating it. So let's try and evaluate the situation, which means let's put some breakpoints here. And since this is for the two-handed, yeah, we don't need this one. Hit continue. Okay, so two-handed false. That means it's going to continue. False. We passed the first two, and here it is true. Which means it's going to go down here. And step over. Anim name. It does populate the correct one. And does this for the first item action. Okay, so why are you complaining? Why are you not playing the correct animation then? Get item container from the attack input. Item actions. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. Yeah. We need another check here, or another method similar to this. Get item container, and I'm going to pass bool is two-handed. If is two-handed, and if L return li. Else okay, so back to the previous one. We need to just pass is 200 here and we are done. Okay, no right bumper, no action found. Yeah, no action found because I have no idea. So if this is the actual attack input, if it is 200, let's put some breakpoints to this actually. Let's continue. Okay, so pressing to attack, we're stuck here. So let's see what we have inside our list. We have so as you can see, all of the items, even though we have the correct ones, they don't have the is 200. Okay, which means our list, and in this case it means the item container list, so we have the item actions which we can populate from new item actions, so we do that here. Even though we are using this, so why are you not playing then? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Let's put a breakpoint here. Let's hit continue. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's for the left hand. Let's do here. Okay, I want the next one. Let's put again. Okay, so we're now changing to the right hand. The first two are the one hand items. The second one is right item, item actions, item container. Let's pass the first one. Okay, so let's see. This should be true, and it is. So the new item actions now should probably have the correct. Yeah, it does. Right trigger is to hand it. Base attack, base attack, base attack. Okay, it does have this, which means let's see what it's going to have once it reaches down here, which it never does because we are skipping this line. Yeah, okay, now we find it all. Awesome. So if you want to return over here, we need to actually populate the list so we have the correct item actions set to the now it should be done. Yeah, okay. So this is it. We now have the two hand animations and we are switching them. Mind you, the right trigger actually still doesn't play, but I think we might not have them implemented. That's why. Okay. So let's switch now the item action to the great sword to the left hand rather than the right hand, and let's see what that's going to do once we switch this. Okay, so we did got a null which is down here. Oh yeah, this needs to be left item, not right item. Same with this. Hit play. Okay, we still get a null. And we get a null because we are using the wrong item. Yeah. Okay, and there we go. We now can play the animation from left to right. We still need to trigger the is mirror as well. So is two-handed. We can just do anim set bool is mirror, set this to true, and anim set bool for the right hand item is two-handed. Can do this over here actually. And first of all, this needs to be false. Okay, and yeah, this needs to be outside of the for loop. And the rest, for one-handed, it's going to be handled by the animation either way, so it doesn't matter. So hit play. And now that's mirrored as well. I think that is. No, maybe it's not mirrored. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This needs to be true. This needs to stay false. Okay, so I think that's it for this part. Okay, we've done a couple of things. We basically now have two-handed. Yeah, okay, everything is working perfectly, except for the attack animation because we forgot to assign the parameter. for that. Just, oh no, it is. Maybe this was wrong in the first place. No, that's on the right as well. Well, anyway, okay, I'm not going to worry about the animation not playing mirrored. It doesn't matter, so everything else is working. So that's it for today, for this part actually. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff like this, of course, consider supporting me on Patreon so we can keep making a lot more of this. I'll see you next time.